And welcome to another edition of Open Mic Wrestling Night here, live on twitch.tv/Calypso426. And if you're not watching live, and if you're listening to the replay, it is on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Fill in the Void Podcast Network, Spreaker.com/filling_the_void. Let's adjust this camera because I didn't even have the chance to. So you might notice a couple changes. Well, a change. There we go. To the left of the screen, a little tip jar. Uh, Basically, if none of you know already, I am officially a Twitch affiliate. If you wish to subscribe to the show, once I get enough subscribers, then I'll be doing subscriber-only shows, among other things, hopefully giveaways. I can arrange that at some point, hopefully. In the future, bits, you could give bits. You could also leave a tip instead of a donation, which everybody likes to call it that for whatever reason, but a tip, that works out too. Or if you have Amazon Prime, link it up to your Twitch Prime, and feel free to give for that free sub that you get if you're a Twitch Prime member. So let's also talk about the affiliates that I have. Squared Circle Apparel, squaredcircleapparel.com. Use the promo code OMWN15 for 15% off your entire order. Fill in the Void Podcast Network, Spreaker.com/filling_the_void. And Powerhouse Nation. I do have a piece coming up, actually. I'm writing it out a little bit at a time right now, but I am getting to it. And we're going to get to that soon, hopefully. Coming on the show, if in case you are wondering, is Shaggy Mclovin. He is coming on, and then apparently, according to his Instagram, in which I will wind up talking about in a little bit with him, this is actually his first podcast interview, which is awesome. And this is one of the reasons why I thoroughly enjoy interviewing indies, because if it's somebody who you may not know, and I may not know, because all I know about Shaggy is he's got a killer skateboarding gimmick. It's not bad in the ring. Actually, I'll be airing a match of his after his interview, so that'll be interesting to watch. And he's from Las Vegas, or he wrestles mainly out of the Las Vegas area, or at least that's where I found him. So mixed with all of that in, perfect, because I'm all for Las Vegas. That's pretty much my home away from home. So, and truth be told, I'd rather be there than here in New Jersey right now. But that point aside, let's get talking here, because I'm also going to talk about these AEW rumors that for whatever reason wind up keep popping up. And latest developments with that, guesses on who the bigger stars are looking to come over, which honestly nobody has a freaking clue. I don't, and honestly, unless you're Cody, the Bucks, the Khan family, and Chris Jericho, I highly doubt you're going to know who's really looking to come over. And maybe there are other ways, but I'll get into that in a little bit. I kind of want to talk about this first because I find it very interesting. Tag team wrestling. Now, I'll get into this a little bit later too, because it's funny, and I said this on the show a million times, and I'll say it a million more, just because it really means that much. Also, why did I not do this? Hold on one second here. Let's do this. Here we go. If you want to actually call in and voice your opinion on things in the world of pro wrestling, 657-383-0105. If you're listening in on a live window, you're more than welcome to call in. If you're not listening on a live window, tune in Thursday. Excuse me. Tune in Thursdays, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. West, and be able to call into the show and interact. And you could also interact live on the Twitch chat here, just in case you all have an opinion about anything that I have to say, or anything, an opinion of anything in pro wrestling. If you just want to say hi, if you want to say I suck, if you want to say I'm ugly, if you want to say wrestling's fake, which is so stupid, you're more than welcome to go ahead at that too. You know, again, it's open mic wrestling night. Open mic. Here's your forum. Speak. So, with tag team wrestling, it's kind of funny because it's amazing what the two things I've advocated for, and I kind of digress there for a second, is women's wrestling, which is now so in demand, and a lot of people are tuning in and watching, and a lot of girls now have heroes to look up to that are legitimate wrestlers, like wrestlers. And a lot of these girls are coming up with gimmicks other than bimbos and everything else like that. And you look at, well, I'm going to digress. But anyway, women's wrestling has been in the forefront with a lot of things. Very heavily rumored to be the main event at WrestleMania this year at MetLife Stadium. That's a whole other topic in of itself, because that might get changed too. Who the hell knows? But the next thing that it looks like on paper they're working on, but I don't know how far they're going to go with it, and I'm meaning they, as in the WWE, tag team wrestling. Now, tag team wrestling in many other companies, TNA or Impact, whatever you want to call it, Ring of Honor, Japan, all over, they seem to give greater respect to tag team wrestlers and wrestling in general, because it's a different type of dynamic. It's a different kind of match to watch, and it's exciting. You have to keep your eyes all over the place, and such great stories you can tell with tag team wrestling. And with a tag team like the Young Bucks, they kind of, along with the Briscoes from Ring of Honor, and you look at LAX and TNA, Triple X, AMW, there have been a lot of great tag teams. And right now there are a lot of tremendous tag teams, some that are well known, some that are not well known, that are doing really well out there in wrestling, and they're getting recognized for it. So, excuse me. So right now, they have the Women's Tag Team Championships coming on, and obviously it's cross-branded. If Raw and SmackDown tag teams are competing for the titles at Elimination Chamber, inside the Elimination Chamber, which is interesting. It's definitely an interesting concept in and of itself. I'm behind it, and the teams that have been announced, fairly good. And now they seem to be concentrating on the Revival and that tag team division on Raw, SmackDown. It's kind of like in limbo, I guess, while Shane and Miz have the tag titles. And you read all these writings and hear all these discussions from guys like Meltzer and others that WWE is really trying to now put an emphasis on tag team wrestling, which is great. I just wish that it didn't have to take for the Revival to pretty much ask for their release. And I don't know if they were trolling the fans or not, but when on a video on WWE.com or one of those WWE exclusive interviews, the backstage ones, they pretty much put it out there that it was true, that the rumors are true. Are they referring to the rumors of they were looking to leave, or they are looking to leave? And then they go and say, well, when we leave, we'll leave with the Raw Tag Team Championship. So are they pulling a Punk here? Stupid. I don't know how much they're really serious about it, and now they're kind of taking that rumor and putting it in the storyline, which is good, which is really cool and all. But you look at it, you have so many great teams in WWE. The Revival, I'm biased. They're my favorite tag team in WWE currently. You have Sheamus and Cesaro, who have been a great tag team since their formation. The New Day, which has been a staple of the WWE for a long time now, which is awesome that a team like that or a group like that could sustain consistent success for so long. It's really very cool to watch. You have Heavy Machinery, which I really enjoy. You have Gallows and Anderson. You have, plenty of other Street Profits in NXT, Undisputed Era, War Raiders. You have so much. And then obviously, if you look outside of WWE, um, LAX, you look at the Briscoes, you look at the Best Friends, you look at the Young Bucks, you look at so many other teams, and tag team wrestling by name value of a lot of these teams, it's gotten better because obviously, and I agree with this because I said it for a long time that TNA or Impact Wrestling, they started this women's evolution with the Knockouts division, and with the Knockouts division, right? I mean, they were having tremendous matches. They were letting these girls work, and they were letting them go. Now they're starting to do that with the women of WWE, which is great. But because it was WWE, or because it wasn't Impact at first, now that WWE is really putting the emphasis and focus back on women's wrestling, or putting it towards it, then you have, everyone else is kind of following suit. Although you've had companies like Shimmer and Shimmer and WSU and all others on the independents that were really, and Stardom now in Japan, that are